Safeguarding Video 1. As you are aware, we follow the EYFS framework, which sets the guidance on all providers that looks after early years children. These are day nurseries, childminders, and the reception class at schools. The early years foundation stage is divided into the safeguarding element and learning and development. You have to comply with all requirements of safeguarding. Falling short will mean that you are not in compliance, which will result in Ofsted taking actions. Safeguarding is all about protecting children. Staff members have to know how to recognize everything that will harm children, what to do when abuse is suspected. It is not just rote learning and relating what you learned, but you have to put it in context. These series of videos are doing just that by looking at the different scenarios. Scenario 1. Emotional neglect. Joe is 4 years old and is in receipt of 30 hours funding. He has been attending the setting very sporadically for 3 months. You have been monitoring Joe since he started due to concerns around his attendance, appearance and constant hunger when in nursery. Joe is a quiet child and seems to do his best not to be noticed. You have spoken with Mum previously about this and she always has an excuse, for example, slept in so didn't have time for breakfast or the washing machine is broken. Today Joe comes into nursery and as usual is hungry, looks tired, dirty and unkempt. Mum again says that they overslept. You make Joe some breakfast and sit with him. Joe started making some disclosures. Joe tells you that on the weekend, big men came into his house and took some of Mummy's stuff because she had no money. He also tells you his house is always dark and cold and he has no food. Questions to consider. 1. What would you do immediately? 2. Would you record any of this, and if so, where? 3. What actions would you take in the longer term? 4. If you felt that you needed to take further advice, who would you speak to? Advice: what to do ensure Joe is settled. Log concern and disclosure on a safeguarding log. Discuss this with your designated safeguarding lead. The designated safeguarding lead will contact the child protection team for advice if necessary on 0800 131326. Consider if Mum should be spoken with on collection. Can any support be offered or services signposted to ensure the child is monitored and any concerns logged appropriately? Contact the child protection team for further advice if needed. The telephone number is 0800 131326.